So the first place I'm going to start is in my audiences. And I'm going to go and build a new audience. And I'm going to use a propensity audience list. So that I'm going to just create a new account list from scratch. And I'll start by just putting in some basic firmographic details in the, let's say, the software space. And if I scroll down here, first thing I'll do is just update this list. So there's 80,597 accounts that meet the criteria I've put in so far. But now I'm going to look for only those accounts that are looking for account-based marketing and account-based experience and account-based sales development. Those three topics are generally really good indicators of somebody that would be researching propensity. So I want to track those companies that are researching that. So it brought our list from 80,000 down to 564. Now I want to take one other narrowing or filtering approach here. And instead of saying, I want somebody that's researching one of these three, any one of them. And you can actually see if I look at Light Solutions and scroll all the way to the right, they're looking at account-based marketing and account-based experience. Right below them, the company's looking for just account-based experience. Just below that is just account-based marketing. So any one of these is trending right now. But I want to turn this into an and. So I only want companies that are looking at all three of these topics simultaneously. So like Botify, if I scroll to the right, they're looking at ABX, ABM, and ABSD. So all three of those topics. And this allows us to have a lot more granularity in the way we use intent data to match on our accounts. Our customers are getting a ton of value out of not just doing or logic, but doing the and logic as well. And then if I pull a couple of these signals back, so get rid of that one and it's just these other two, the list goes from 22 to 99. So you can use this to dial in on your audience with a lot of granularity. And you can also see now I'm starting to get scores here. So Botify is a 77. I'm going to click View Intent. And this is going to bring me to the Botify profile within Propensity. First of all, I can see there are 200 to 500 employees. We have 336 in Propensity. You can see their revenue range, their location. And if I scroll down here, I can see every intent topic they've been trending on for the last 90 days. The reason this is so important is looking at spontaneousness in an intent signal doesn't do a lot of good. We found that the more accurate intent topics are leveraged over a 90-day time horizon. And then we look at the recency and the frequency in those topics. So for example, if I look at the account-based signals that they were trending on account-based experience and account-based marketing 4 of the last 12 weeks, with the most recent occurrence being in late May, so about a month ago. So we can see from this that Spotify was, at the very least, up until recently, doing a deep evaluation on account-based marketing and account-based sales development and account-based experience. So this helps us understand where they're at in their decision-making, their evaluation phase. Were they doing a lot of research and an evaluation and then made a decision and they've dropped off? And that's why the score is reflective of that. It's not a 100 or a 99, it's a 77 on this list. So the accuracy really comes from a combination of recency and frequency of the intent topics. And then on top of that, I can add in competitors. So this is another unique propensity offering, is I can put in any of our competitors or any company that's a competitor of yours into this list. And then I can start to find any company that's researching both one of these topics and your competitor. So I'm looking at Airtable and Albert & Vent and Light Solutions. If I scroll to the right here, I can see their research history in account-based marketing and demand-based and account-based experience and demand-based. The companies that are researching your competitors, as well as the other intent topics that you care about, are going to be much higher in their propensity score, because the likelihood of them being in market when they're researching a lot of these things all at the same time tends to be more indicative that they're ready to buy. So by separating your core intent topics from competitor intent topics, we're trying to evaluate exactly who's in market at the right time to try to find the right moment to reach out to them. The intent topics are supplemented by keywords and other firmographic details that we bring together here, one thing of note is that all of our data, whether it's account data or contact data or the intent data we bring in, is all based on quality over quantity. So we work with the highest quality data. We're focused on making sure that there aren't false positives and that the data is validated against the data sources that we bring it in from. So we do that by using a co-op strategy for our intent data signals that are based on consent. So companies like Bombora are good support, have allowed us to, we partner with them to bring the data in. And then we have like a half dozen other sources that we integrate data from into our system, all on that same philosophy of quality over quantity. And then you're able to choose the kind of the intent topics you want to use. And you can see over time, if my intent changes and the signals adjust, I can maneuver this pretty easily. You're not stuck in a pre-purchased list of intent topics. You have a really dynamic way to audience build and to adjust your intent based on market movement and things like that. So some really powerful usage of intent data within your list building. I'm going to bounce over to our reporting tab and just speak to some of the more creative ways to also use intent data. So under website performance, we have website analytics. Every company that visits your website, we're able to track, first of all, if we're able to de-anonymize them, their location. But you can see we also track all the intent signals that are meaningful to your business based on your website visitors. So you can see the top intent signals of the companies visiting your website. For us, it's marketing tips, B2B marketing, B2B sales acceleration, marketing technology, customer intent. And then you can see the industry of software is the number one industry. And here's the revenue ranges of the top accounts visiting our website. So it gives you a really good sense of like, oh, maybe I should be adding these topics as well. If somebody's visiting our website and looking at these need to be turned into another layer on top of our ICP. And I generally like to advise that to our customers. If you're looking to use intent to build out an account list, you should think of intent as an add-on to your core ICP. So it's another layer on top of it. Like here's our TAM, and then our TAM with ICP with intent data applied on top of it becomes much more nuanced and a smaller list to manage. The other thing I just wanted to highlight really quickly is at the contact level, we're able to do a little bit more in terms of contact level intent. So for this, we have an agency list. And if I click on the buying circles, we have our agency target list, and then looks like a test list we've created in here. I'll go ahead and use the test list for this example, so that way I can edit it. So you can see it. We're looking for anybody with a work email at the CXO level at the companies that are on that list. But the beauty of this is I can, first of all, see first name, last name, company, all the demographic details, work email, phone numbers, physical address. But right here, we're getting into what we call psychographic data. And it's the closest thing to contact level intent that you can find. It's basically another layer to determine like, oh, this person is familiar with B2B marketing. And let's just find everybody at this list of companies that has a skill in or an interest in B2B marketing. And now you're able to thread the needle of your contact lists down to a much more nuanced audience. So you can leverage intent data at your website. You can leverage intent data at your account list building, and you can leverage psychographic data at the contact level. And those three things tend to give you a ton of accuracy in the segmenting of your lists and the targeting that you're able to do on the other side of it.